Is it actually possible to build your audience from scratch simply by using Facebook ads? In today's episode, I really want to pull back the layers and share with you exactly the process that we've been using over the past 3 years to help our client build their audience and how I've used it to build my account to over 15,000 followers across different platforms in a matter of a couple of months. And I really want to share this with you because we live in a day and age where we are literally in a trust recession. People are way more discerning, and the market, no matter in which industry you operate, chances are your market is way more sophisticated, which means that it makes it very important for you to actually position yourself as a thought leader in your space in order to convert those prospects into clients that work with you on the long run. And there's nothing more powerful as building a brand to really position yourself as an expert in your industry and really attract, right, pull towards you ideal prospect instead of chasing them and running after them every single day. So if you're in a space where you are tired of the cold calling, the cold emailing, and doing all of those push marketing tactics, which are really subpar in terms of result, and you're looking for a more predictable way to actually grow your business long term and actually have a legacy business, this video is perfect for you. It's also, if you're in a place where you've already built an audience, you are, in a place where you have thousands, tens of thousands of followers on different platforms, you're actually looking to even increase your brand awareness to actually dominate your space. This is going to be perfect for you because you have several clients that we've worked with and that we've helped grow from 20,000 followers to 70,000 followers, 150,000 followers and beyond. And the reason why as an ads agency, we do focus a lot on brand building since the past 2 years and a half is because we've noticed across the board, clients that have a good brand positioning, a good authority in their target market typically saw the biggest ROI on their ad spend. And we've seen a really close correlation between the audience size and the goodwill that's built from a brand with his target audience and the sales that we're able to generate for them when we actually do run. And that's the reason why now it's one of the main things that we work with clients that when they come on board, we help them build their brand so that they can actually grow in a way that's sustainable, predictable, and have in their audience the ideal target market. So I'm going to break down our 4-step process that we've used over the past 3 years. That's literally what our client pay us thousands and thousands of dollars every single month for. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to make that happen in the hope that you can go ahead, implement it, and see results for your business as well. If it's the first time you come across my content, I am Joly Tematio. I'm the head of growth at Hogan Consulting. We are an ad agency that specializes in working with info product businesses, really helping them break the glass ceilings in terms of their impact and income by leveraging social media ads and systems. And we've been doing that for the past 3 years and a half now. And we've worked with multiple 7-figure brand, 8-figure brand, but we've also helped clients making 20K per month, scale to their first $100,000 per month. And those success stories are what really makes us proud. And the goal of this channel is really to give back and to share with you what's working behind the scenes so you can go ahead and implement it for your own business. So if that's something that you like, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when the next video comes out. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So let's start with our 4-step framework designed to help you grow your brand from scratch and your audience from scratch using Facebook ads. Now, it all starts with getting clear on your target audience. Like, this is literally the most important thing that you want to think about. And when I think about the target audience, I don't really think about, I'm working with mom entrepreneurs that are living in Minnesota and that are between 30 to 40, 50 years old. That's not what it is. Your target audience is really getting clear on what are the psychographic, what are some of their biggest pain points, what are some of their desire, what are some of their craving, what are some of the mistakes that they've made in the past that's now dictating their behavior, what are some of their biggest regrets, what are their dreams, what are some of the things that they actually keep them awake at night and that they don't even share with their partner or with their family member. What do they deeply desire beyond the surface level benefit, beyond the surface level thing that they tell everyone about? For instance, if someone says, I'm trying to grow my business, I'm trying to hit 6-figure per month. Yeah, that's what they might say. But what do they actually deeply crave and desire? It might be, I actually want to feel like I'm safe. I want to feel like I have enough money to sustain my family and to really build a legacy. I want to be known for, and I want to have an impact. I want to be known for something. So sometimes it really goes beyond just the surface level thing that they tell you about. And the more you know them deeply, the better you're going to be able to create to do the next part, which is actually your messaging, right? Because sometimes people are like, I've been creating content, I've been trying to build this brand, but I keep on attracting people that don't really resonate with my message or that are not really at the same level as I would like them to be when it comes to investing or when it comes to working with me. And typically when we do a deep dive, it's that they're having a messaging that's attracting the wrong audience, right? That have the wrong expectation, that are looking for the wrong things, because the way in which they're positioning what they do and what their core value are is different from it's attracting the wrong people. So really thinking about, okay, what are some of those things? What are some of their pain points? What have they tried in the past, right? How has that worked for them? Because if you are not really clear on what they've done in the past and that left them unsatisfied and fulfilled in terms of which whatever transformation that you are trying to achieve, you won't be able to position what you do in a completely different light. So if you want to be like, okay, what we do is different, what we do is unique, you want to be able to make sure that you're actually positioning in a way that's very unique and different. So that clarity is king, and that's why whenever a client comes in and wants to work with us at the agency, we always have them go through a very, we call it our copy workshop, where and our avatar deep dive and copy workshop and offer workshop, because it really allow us to extract what their target audience is and create messaging that's extremely compelling and that's really magnetized towards them, the right target audience. So it really starts here, because this is really what's going to really, it trickles down into everything that you do afterwards, right? This is like the core foundation. And so many businesses owners kind of overlook this thing because they're like, oh, of course I know my target audience, they are more on, they think about the demographic, but what you want to focus on is actually the psychographic. That's really the key. Now once you are clear on who you want to serve and who, based on your story, your life experience, your background, you can you can help the most, you want to move into content. Here you want to think about your content, just not just as creating a bunch of content, but think of your content as assets which are designed to really have a long life shelf and really build your authority beyond the day, the month, the year in which you've posted the content. Because we have kind of for which the content that they've done 2-3 years ago is still driving sales, is still being used with the in the ad strategy, in the marketing strategy, because it was so well designed. And how do you go about crafting content that's not only compelling but also strategic in a way that builds your brand but also drives sales? You make sure by making sure that you are thinking about, again, tying into your content these things, because the content that you create ultimately is designed to serve your audience. It's not designed for you and to boost your ego or to feed your ego. It's really designed to add value. And a couple of years ago we had all of that trend of educating, entertaining, and inspiring, that type of content, right? And what we found even work the best is that whenever the content that we see perform the best for our client across the board is the educational content. Because ultimately, if you are a thought leader, if you are selling something, people want to, there's enough entertainment out there, there's enough inspiring and motivational content. You can inspire and motivate by educating as well, right? So but just think about, okay, what's the takeaway for them when after they consume this? What are they going to take home, and what can they implement in the next 5 minutes after watching this video, in the next 10 minutes after watching the video? How is their life going to be better as a result of watching this content? If you think through that lens whenever you make the content, instead of saying, oh, I think my audience wants this, or this is what my team thinks we should produce, and really think instead, okay, what's going to serve my target audience the most right now, based on where they are, based on the current state, right? Because again, your target audience is at point B, they want to get at point C, and your offer is kind of the bridge that takes them from point A to point B. But your content is somewhere in between A and B. So it's like the content is kind of like a preview of what they will actually get when they do go ahead and work with you. So give your best stuff away for free and make sure that's actually directly linked to these things. And that's why once you're clear on what the pain points, the desire, the frustration, the regrets, the mistakes are, creating content becomes just effortless, because you know how to speak with them in a way that's going to resonate and that's going to make them feel compelled to move forward and trust you but more, and build that credibility and that relationship with you before even they invest. And so in terms of format, in terms of content, it really depends on what you feel more comfortable with. It can be video, podcast, blog posts, graphics. We've seen carousel work fantastic as well. I'm biased toward videos because the day and age in which we live in, we have the TikTokification of social media, like Gary Vee says it. So people are more and more used to consuming video, and also with AI, that's increasing more and more. Having video is going to help you to build that trust and that connection and be like, okay, actually I'm speaking with a real person, because nowadays blogs can be written by AI, and podcast can be written, can be even recorded with Descript or whatever, or 11 Labs. But a video content, even though you have tools like you have tools that can also help you create like avatar videos of yourself, video is kind of the highest barrier of entry when it comes to content. So it allows you not only to position yourself as a thought leader, but also kind of make sure that you are one of one in your industry, in your space. So I'm biased toward videos, but you can definitely do it whatever works the best for you in this season of your business. So the most important thing is really consistency, whether that's once a week, twice a week, by monthly. You need to have a consistency that's going to work for you and stick to it. I think that's one of the things that I have struggled in the past, to be honest, with consistency. And that's why now not only do I have a system in place, but I also have team members that are, that the whole role is actually to support when it comes to consistency in content creation, because this is really key. Like, if you want to build a legacy business that's going to be here in 10, 15, 20 years, you need to invest in time, you need to invest in resources to make this happen. And one of the biggest objections, which is sometimes people say when it comes to this consistency, they say, oh, Joly, but I don't have the time. What we are doing is working well. I don't know why I should actually add another thing to our process, because it's so hard. And I always invite them to look at the long-term view and thinking, okay, let's just pull back, let's just zoom out, right? Let's look at the macro, and let's think 5 years from now, if I'm producing 2 episodes per week of a podcast or a YouTube channel, how much is that going to impact my credibility, my leadership in terms of opportunity, anything, like even the trust that I'm going to, the trust that I'll be able to build with my audience. It's definitely worth it. So strategy content is definitely the second thing to really accelerate the purchasing cycle, because again, we live in an age where trust is at all-time low. People are way more discerning. No matter in which market you work in, your market is way more sophisticated. So with your content, you're able to kind of build that trust and accelerate the buying cycle massively. So it's like a massive level, right? And so now, once that's done, what we want to do, once we have this content created, answering our target audience pain point, desire, dreams, we want to amplify. We really want to amplify the content that's performing the best using ads. And so this is really where the machine comes in, because when you create content and you just post it on social media, you have no control in terms of how well the content is going to perform or how many views it's going to get. It's kind of like a hit and miss. Some videos, like I've posted a reel a couple of days ago, I had like 15,000 views and 300 likes, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And the next one I have like 300 views and like 15 like, and I'm like, what's going on? That's the thing with content. You can never really predict how well a content piece is going to perform. And so that's why we actually look at amplifying our content with ads, because ads give you predictability, ads give you sustainability, and ads gives you just peace of mind, because okay, I can consistently rely on getting these results, which is needed when it comes to actually projecting my number and actually growing long term with my business. And so when it comes to ad campaign, you have different ads that you can use to really amplify your content. Again, the goal here is not for us to necessarily get conversions. The goal for us is to really build our brand, which means getting more awareness, getting more reach, being known, being seen, and building an audience as a result of being seen and being visible. So the best campaign which I highly invite you to use are the reach objective on the Meta Ads Manager, the video views campaign objective, the awareness campaign, and the post engagement campaign. Now, the reach campaign really allows your ads to be seen. And so when it comes to launching this campaign, you just go inside your Meta Ads Manager, you click on create to create a new campaign, and you have the awareness, objective here. And so under awareness, you have the reach, right, which is really designed to get your ads in front of as many people as possible based on the interest that you've chosen in your targeting. So this is amazing because you get massive eyeball on your stuff. You can also use video views. Video is one of my favorites, specifically because it really allows people to watch, again, because I was biased for video, that's why video is my favorite. So this is going to work well if you are producing video content, and again, because you're going to be able to build trust, give value, and you really build that connection a whole lot faster when you do so. And you also have, which is working well when it comes to growing your brand, is the brand awareness, of course, ads objective, because here people are really going to be, you can target these guys, maybe they visited your website, they've engaged with your social media content, so after you've been running video views or reach campaign for a while, getting people to watch your content, to go to your website, to check you out, you can now run a brand awareness campaign to really keep top of mind in front of them as they're scrolling online, right? Another thing which is really good to build your authority is post engagement campaign. This is really going to allow you to get likes, comments, shares on your post, which is really good, because then when someone sees your content on their feed, it just builds your authority. Say, okay, this post gotten I see this post with 100 comments, tons of let me check this person out. What are they about? Because again, those things play the role. It's just like subconsciously, when you go on Amazon and you want to buy something, for instance, you look at, okay, what are the number of reviews, what are the number of 5 likes or 5 stars that this thing has gotten, and what's the reviews. That's how I purchase. At least I look at, if I have 2 products and I see, okay, what's the number of reviews that one has gotten versus the other one, what's the average number of stars that one has gotten the best the others. And that's how I base my purchasing decision, because I like to, we are lazy as a division, and we want to make sure that our decision is actually well made, and we look at what's been done and what others have done to actually inform our decision to move forward along with a brand or with commenting and following someone. So the post engagement campaign, even though it's not my favorite, is something that's really powerful when it comes to really building that authority and driving more people to actually follow you and check you out. So those are the 4 type of campaign that I will focus on when it comes to actually building your brand. Now, when it comes to, if I had to kind of like order them, I will start with a video view campaign. I love video view campaign because it really allows you to then retarget people that have watched your video based on how long they've watched the video, which is pretty insane. So let's say that someone has watched 25% of your video, 50% of your video, you can retarget them based on how long they've watched, because what that tells you about the intent, how intentional were they about your content, how did they actually like what you had to say, because the longer someone has watched your content, it means that the more likely they are to move forward and actually work with you, which is pretty amazing. So I like to look at the, those things. So I don't just target based on video views, I target based on how long they've consumed the content, because that plays a massive role. And also it tells me about how my retentions are. So if I can see that, okay, most of my content, I just get a really small percentage of them that actually watch past 25%, it tells me, okay, let me go back and work on my hooks, let me go back and work on my structure of my video ads so that I actually drive the best result. Something which I want to mention is that when it comes to amplifying your content, not every single thing that you produce is going to be amplified, right? So you really want to kind of look at what's already performing well organically as you post them on the platforms and say, okay, this one really performed well and it's really aligned with my messaging, my brands, how I want to be perceived in the marketplace. Let me take that piece of content and actually put some spend behind the media to get it more visibility, to be seen at a higher level, at a higher scope. So if I had to again order them, I will start with the video views, because I love video views campaign for the retargeting capability. Then I will do a reach, because again, reach is really powerful to get just your message seen by a wide crowd of targeted prospects. I'll do post engagement. Whenever I'm doing it, I will do post engagement in tandem with reach or video views, so that it is authority on the post that I'm actually promoting. So let's say I'm promoting a video, right? I might have one, let's say I'm promoting 5 videos, and adding and promoting them with meta ads, for instance. So I'm gonna have them into 2 campaigns. One's going to be the engagement campaign, just to get some comments, shares, what have you, and one is going to be the video views or the reach campaign, so that I have both working in tandem, right? So really to amplify the effectiveness of my strategy. And then the awareness campaign, I will use it as a targeting campaign. So whenever I start getting traffic on my website or my social media platform, and I want to stay top of mind, I can always go back and create a custom audience of those either website visitor, social media engager, and then stay top of mind with them with the awareness campaign. So that's for the campaign. Now the fourth step, which is typically what people don't really think about, is your optimization, right? It's a rinse and repeat optimizing before you actually rinse and repeat, which means what's working, what's not working, how can we do this even better? Here, when it comes to optimization, you really want to do that 2 level primarily. Of course, there are so many layers that we typically go deeper into with our client, but I just want to give you like the 360 in terms of what's required to get you the best results. So the first level at which you want to optimize your result is really looking at your ads. How are they performing? What's the average cost per impression, or what's the cost per view, for instance, what's the cost per true play, right? Those are going to tell you about how well your content is performing, which content piece is actually driving the best result, what makes it unique, what's the hook, what's the background, what's your energy level, like what are some of the things that you actually see have made that one successful. Because once you identify a clear winner, you actually want to double down on that one. So you can go and change maybe the editing of the video. You can go ahead and change maybe the layover text. You can change even the lighting. You can go from color to black and white to sepia. I've made a video where I share with you exactly how to optimize a campaign when you see actually how to optimize an ads creative once you see that it's actually winning and driving the best result. Because typically once you see a campaign or you see an ad that's clearly winning compared to the rest that you've launched, you want to kind of squeeze as much juice as that creative as possible while replicating those results. So I've made an episode where I actually break down how to do that, make that happen, and I'm gonna have it link in the description box of today's episode. So you really want to optimize your ad strategy, what's working, what's not working, cut the loser, scale the winner, and there's a whole framework on how to do that, and I'm going to and I've covered that on another episode. Now, the second level at which you want to optimize is really when it comes to your content. What's your content strategy like? So what type of content you see performing the best? So again, you're posting your content organically first, and then consistently you post it on your social media platform, YouTube, Facebook, all the things, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the things. But you then want to look at, okay, which one are performing the best, which marketing resonates the most with my target audience, which type of messaging works the best, and once you identify, okay, this is what I've seen work the best, just double down on it. Typically, we as business owner, we get tired of saying a thing before our audience they get tired of hearing it. So you say, okay, but I've said that like 1 year ago, but I've said that 6 months ago, but you've got a new eyeball in the meantime, you've got a new audience in the meantime. So find a way to make it fresh, find a way to make it new, and because the last thing that you want to do is having something that works and stop doing it, and having something that doesn't work and do more for something that doesn't work. So if you don't look at your numbers and understanding, okay, you know what, this is actually working for me, why should I change? For instance, I was creating a lot recently. I've been creating a lot of the Twitter that are turning to Instagram reel type of post, and I had someone in my team that was like, Joly, we have this thing, we've been doing this thing, but they're not really working. I don't feel like it's people will actually take time to read something that's on a black screen and that's all white, and because the font is so small, I don't think it's really working for us. And I was like, I don't really know. Let's see, look at data. What's data telling us? And we went back and we look at what actually drove the most engagement, the most following, the most audience growth on my account, and we said, okay, this is actually the type of post that, even though they are boring as heck, they take 30 seconds to make, because we just take a screenshot of the TikTok, of the Twitter post, and we just hook it on the template on Canva and we publish it on the Rails, right? He was like, this is not really working. I feel like it's boring and all the things. We need to come up with something a bit more fancy. I was like, okay, let's look at the numbers. And we look at, okay, out of the reels that I've been posting consistently over the past 6 to 12 months, the one with these type of Twitter, Instagram reel type of posts have been literally crushing it. And unless you look at your numbers, you might stop doing something that's actually working, driving result for your company. And we see that for our client so often. That's why we always like to track everything and have dashboard and reports that allows them to have full visibility. And instead of making decision based on emotion and based on how we feel, like we actually make decision based on how we know to be true, right, in the business, which is actually key. So data-driven decision is key when it comes to actually scaling in a way that makes sense. And if you do this consistently, so once you've optimized at the ad level and also in your terms of your content, you're literally going to, if you do this, and again, that's not something that you want to do for a week, for a month, for 2 months. You just really want something that you want to do over and over again. As a business owner slash content creator, your number one thing is actually to create and to be in your creative space. So that's something that you actually want to give a lot of thought and energy and resources to. And I really wanted to break down this framework for you because I feel like we live in an age where it might look like growing an audience is kind of like rocket science. It's like, okay, either you're favored by the gods that are growing God, or you're not favored by them. And it's like, how do I grow my business? How do I grow my audience? And I hope this gives you a framework in terms of how to make that happen in a way that's sustainable, that doesn't break the bank, because you can literally have this up with $5 to $10 a day ad budget, which is literally less than the cup of coffee at Starbucks at this point. So, and it's so worth it when it comes to building your brand and having a solid legacy business that you're actually building. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you go ahead and actually implement this thing to grow your company. So that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to go even further, I highly invite you to download our Facebook ads bundle. That's going to be in the description of this episode. There's going to be in the bundle, you have three things. So you come up with a Facebook ads template, a Facebook ad checklist, as well as really the 10 things that you don't want to do, because we sometimes think so much about what to do to optimize our campaign, but we forget about what not to do. So those three things, the bundle, the checklist, and the what not to do, the list is really good, designed to help you supercharge your ads and get you more confidence when it comes to launching your first or your next campaign, so that you actually get results consistently. If you want to go even further and you're looking for someone to come in and help you with your ads, make sure to reach out. That's what my team and I do all day every day for our clients. We help them scale in income and impact using social media ads. It's going to be a link as well to schedule a call to speak with me or someone in the team. If you got value, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when there's a new episode on the channel. I will see you on the next one. Until then, I wish you a lovely day, a lovely week, a lovely month. Keep scaling, keep growing. Bye bye.